Recently, I was in Russia and in Serbia, and there I gave speeches as usual. In Serbia, I pointed out that the whole of Africa today has got a GDP of $2.5 trillion. The whole of Africa. Now, that economy is smaller than the economy of India, which is now 3.3 trillion. It's smaller than Germany, which is 4 trillion. Smaller than Japan, which is 4.2 trillion. Of course, smaller than China, which is 17.96 trillion. And smaller than the economy of the United States, which is 25.46 trillion. Now, this is a big shame to African leaders. And these people, they call ministers of finance and planning and all that. So, and this is something we saw when we were students. That's how we started, that was part of our movement in the 1960s. We saw this, and we were telling the leaders that time that you are lost, we are lost. You are going to cause a catastrophe here. They didn't listen. They didn't listen. And they were all young people. Those leaders were not really old. All of them were young people, like Obote was 35 years when he became prime minister. Mutesa was 30-something. Maybe Nadiopi is the one who was like 42, not old. They were all young people. But they were thinking in a different way and spending a lot of time with the politics of identity, of tribes, of religion, until people like Idi Amin came in and we had now to fight. Now, when we were fighting, again, we put down our views, and that's how we came up with the 10 points program. Security and so on and so forth. Then point number 5 is exactly this, what we are talking about. Building an economy which is integrated, independent, and self-sustaining. Integrated vertically and horizontally. But we have been having opposition, not only from external players, but the internal ones, politicians. We bring investors, they come to help us do that. Somebody goes to parliament and starts insulting people, insulting them. Oh, these are thieves, they are what? Now, these days, whatever you say is on the internet. Many years ago, I had brought somebody with Mzee Mruana. My daughter Barbara there knows. Somebody from Thailand. At that time, I was struggling with the value addition to milk, because we had persuaded your people in the cattle corridor to start joining the money economy by producing milk for sale instead of just milk for drinking at home. And they had come up. But the processing capacity was small. There was like a small something called Uganda Dairy Corporation, which was producing only 60,000 liters per day at Bugorovi. So this time man wanted to come and build a factory, to take over that factory, expand it, and make it produce milk, but also juice of fruits and so on. He had a very good plan. But my people went to Parliament and started insulting him. So his board, for him he didn't mind, he was still going, but his board, when they looked at, saw it, why do you go to such a country? Don't go. The man just walked out because of being insulted by people who have no value addition themselves. But cannot allow those who can add value to do it. So I had now to struggle for other years until I got an Indian called Samia. I don't know whether you remember him. Samia, he came, but we had lost time. He expanded that little factory at Bugorovi from 60,000 to 500,000 liters a day. And that's how Uganda was able to have vertical integration in the milk sector. There we have moved. We produce milk at the farm. We are now at 5.3 billion liters from 200 million liters in 1986. And quite a bit of it is processed into liquid milk, pasteurized, liquid milk, ultra-heated, UHT, powder milk, butter, cheese. We are even producing something called casein, which we are selling to the USA, a protein from milk. When that Samir man helped me to do that, then I think Uganda reputation went up, and other groups came. There are many factories now. I think now we should try to encourage them to go into making baby foods and so on. Now, this is the same project I've been having. So that's one group, the uninformed politicians, some of them being used by parasites to disturb our journey. Then you have the civil servants. Civil servants, and for them they are bamlia biengede. They just eat the little that is there. No capacity to add anything, just eat akaliwo. Like for instance, recently, we have been having a partnership with Amina, the Somali lady, who is producing sugar in Atiak. We gave them money to buy machinery, including earth-moving equipment. Now, our local uninformed people link up with jokers, I don't know from where. There's something they call PPDA Act. Now, that PPDA Act, of course, was made by people who want to buy toilet paper and things like that. Which you advertise. Who is the cheapest seller of toilet paper? The toilet paper producers come and they compete. Now, these wonderful people will go and put it in industries. Industries are not toilet paper. PPDA. We advertise. But what are you advertising for? Machinery for these factories is made by few people in the world. Like, for instance, even for things like earth moving, for me, I was aware that the makers of the earth moving equipment are two. Caterpillar in the USA and Komatsu in China, in Japan. Now I have been told that some other group has come up in China. There are not many. So if you are after industrial machinery, how do you advertise? Advertise to whom? You know there are few of them. When they advertise, who comes? Middlemen, businessmen. They are the ones who come and sell you something which is made in one or two factories where you can go yourself. And they add now money, a profit for themselves. Or they give you substandard equipment. The manufacturers are not going to be reading this paper of yours, Monitor. To look for advancements. A manufacturer of equipment like this one we are going to buy, how will he read Monitor? That he has read Monitor and he is going to compete to come here. He will not come. You are the one to go. You know who is making this equipment. You are the one to go to him. It's like military equipment. How many people are making jets in the world? When I want to buy a Sukhoi, or I don't advertise because I know who is making it. Or if I want to buy an F-16, the American one. So, these two players, the civil servants and the confused politicians, have sort of delayed us. But really now, we are determined and we have had discussions. We are going to move. So therefore, I call upon the whole of the political class, especially the NLM supporters and the civil servants, to help us get out of this endoro, was it endoro? Endoro, sleeping. But mundoro, that's how we say. Mundoro, is that sleeping? Okokwebaka? Okay.